cursed books are cursed for a reason. Why people read them is beyond me. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we're going to be counting down our list of the top 10 terrifying messages found in cursed books. Now in this countdown there are many mentions of grimoires. For those of you who don't know, a grimoire is essentially a spell book. It is a textbook of magic, typically including instructions on how to create magical objects like talismans and amulets, how to perform magical spells, charms, and how to summon or invoke supernatural entities such as angels, spirits, deities, and demons. With that in mind, let's get into the video. Number 10. Untitled Grimoires. The Untitled Grimoires is a set of 2 handwritten spiral-bound spellbooks that were sold by an online retailer for nearly $14,000 back in 2013. The books were handwritten in the 1960s by Persephone Ajostri Urine, a high priestess of Wicca who supposedly led her own coven. All 250 pages are filled with incantations, spells, enchantments, and details on how to summon spirits and demons. However, there is a serious catch. The seller warns buyers that any non-believers who mess with the book would bring a deadly curse upon themselves, while Persephone herself tells readers on the first page that proceeding with the book would have serious consequences. She wrote, "To those not of the craft, the reading of this book is forbidden. Proceed no further, or justice will exact a swift and terrible retribution, and you will surely suffer at the hand of the craft." The buyer and the location of the book is currently unknown, but my question is, why would you want to buy this? Even if you are a believer, wouldn't you still be scared? Number 9. Necronomicon. The Necronomicon, also referred to as the Book of the Dead, is considered one of the most haunted books of all time. What does this book have in store? Well, you can find scary figures on each page of this book, and you can contact your loved ones who are not alive. It contains the exact way to contact the dead souls, but be warned, bringing back the dead is not for the weak. Necronomicon has also appeared in famous series like Friday the 13th and Evil Dead series. Currently, its original copy is kept in a locker of Massachusetts Masonic University. People really don't want this book to get out, so it has to be haunted, right? Number 8. The Orphans Story. We all know it can be hard to get a book published. I mean, hey, the Harry Potter transcript was denied 12 different times. But this book took 400 years to get published. The Orphans Story was written in the early 1600s by Martin de Leon Cardenas. The Orphan Story is a novel about a 14-year-old Spaniard who heads to the Americas in search of fortune. Now, this sounds like a fairly normal, feel-good adventure story, but a major darkness lurks within its pages that led to the novel not being published until 2018. Belinda Paliquios, a prover and scholar who edited the book for 2 years, says that she was warned by multiple people about the Orphan Story. They told her that the book was cursed, and the reason it had taken so long to publish was that anyone who worked on it would die in mysterious ways. While she initially laughed it off, research showed that those who previously edited the book died in horrific car accidents or of strange illnesses. My question is, why did she still agree to edit it? And did certain powers not want the ancient script out in the world? Nonetheless, it was published in 2018, and since then Belinda remains alive and well, so hopefully the curse is gone, but I still wouldn't want to read this book though. Number 7. Long Lost Friend. Long Lost Friend was written and published by John George Homan in 1820. The book contains a variety of folk remedies, spells, and talismans from the folk magic tradition known as powwow. While the book itself is intended to not be cursed, as it contains wonderful and well-tested remedies and arts for men as well as livestock, according to its original German title, the book took on a sinister reputation following the so-called Hex Hollow murder committed by John Bleemer, John Curry, and Wilbert Hess. The 3 men broke into the home of their neighbor, Nelson Raymeyer, because they said he had put a curse on them. They were trying to find his copy of The Long Lost Friend and destroy it in order to end their affliction. They were unable to find it though, so they instead took Nelson's life and attempted to burn down his house. Which, you know, just seems like the most logical explanation to me. I don't know about you guys. But apparently Nelson's supposed copy of the book never turned up. Did he even have the book, or did it work in his favor all along? Only Nelson knows. Number 6. The Grand Grimoire. The Grand Grimoire, nicknamed the Gospel of Satan, isn't really a book I want to read, and I think a lot of people wouldn't want to read it due to this either. This book is said to be written by a man possessed by the devil. The 16th century book is known as one of the most terrifying occult books in existence. It contains dark incantations and instructions on how to summon demons and raise spirits from the dead. Now, that last part may seem appealing to those who are grieving or suffering loss, but this book's dark reputation makes it one of the most fearful medieval manuscripts of all time. Even opening the book is considered equivalent to selling your soul to the devil. Thankfully, the Grand Grimoire is not available for purchase due to this, and I mean, who would want to buy that? It's said that the original copy is currently kept in the Vatican secret archives and not currently available to the public, and I think that's a good call. Number 5. The Book of Soyga, aka Aldrilia Sieve Soyga Vorkar. I hope I said that right. Now, knowledge has no enemy other than ignorance, says Jane Cupin, translator of the Book of Soyga. It's also known as the book that... So, there's that. It is a 16th century essay written in Latin about demonology. Only 2 material copies of the Book of Soyga are said to exist. One was rediscovered in the British Library in 1994, and the other was owned by the scholar John Dee, who devoted his entire life to decoding it. John was forewarned that anyone who deciphers the final 36 pages is fated to die within 2.5 years. Thankfully for John, he was never able to fully decipher its true meaning. Currently, John's book can be found at the Bodleian Library, Oxford, and there are now digital copies of this book freely available to download, which I suggest you don't do, no matter how curious you are. Number 4. The Book of Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage. Abramelin was a strange father, to say the least. Appropriate presents for children are toys, candy, not a book full of mythical curses. But that's exactly what he gave his son. Hey, even a normal book would have been fine, but a cursed one? No way. Since it was translated to English in the 1900s, this 15th century novel has had a reputation for being cursed. There are several theories why, but most believe it has to do with the mage's belief that everyone has their own unique personal demon. Yeah. Throughout this book, readers could learn rituals that bring their personal demons under control. They could learn to perform supernatural feats using sigils of magic words on a grid, but this book has a huge downside. It's believed that anyone with a copy in their possession will be haunted by spirits from another realm. They will also experience terrible luck that will ultimately bring about their demise. Now, paranormal enthusiasts know that it's risky to reach out and communicate with the spirit world, especially when it comes to demons, so it's not surprising that readers of this book have reported bad luck and hauntings by spirits from another realm. Number 3. The Codex Gigas. The Codex Gigas was published in the early 13th century and is written in Latin. The Codex Gigas is a Bible written in a monastery in Bohemia, modern-day Czech Republic. It's also referred to as the Devil's Bible due to a fully colored portrait of Satan taking up a whole page. And when I say a whole page, I mean a full 36-inch page. Yes, this is the largest illustrated medieval manuscript in the world, with a length of 36 inches, a width of 20 inches, and a total back-to-back thickness of almost 9 inches. Wow. The page next to the illustration contains a full description of the Kingdom of Heaven. Now, there are lots of stories about this book, most likely stemming from the large portrait of the devil. According to the legend, the Codex was written by Herman the Recluse, a monk who broke his monastic vow and was sentenced to be walled up alive. In order to try and escape his dire fate, he promised to write a book that would glorify the monastery forever, a book that contained the entire knowledge of the universe. Herman the Recluse was given one try to complete the book, and if he hadn't finished it by dawn, the sentence would be executed. Realizing by midnight that the task was impossible, Herman turned to the devil, who helped him finish the book for the price of his soul. Some say that Satan's portrait is his own signature, while others believe that Herman drew the portrait himself as a thanks. blanks. Number 2. Lesser Key of Solomon. The Lesser Key of Solomon is a cursed grimoire of demonology. No one knows the author responsible for it. We don't even know when it was written, but best guesses point to it starting out as several separate texts that later came together in the 17th century. The book contains passages on how to conjure spirits of the dead and demons and how to control these entities to do your bidding. Topics like how to become invisible and locate missing or stolen items are covered. Recipes for love potions and liquors of persuasion are also scattered throughout the book. For centuries, the book has been followed by rumors that it's cursed with a spell so dark, and anyone who has a copy of the book on their shelf will face certain doom. The curse doesn't specify what will happen if you own a copy, but I wouldn't risk it. Those who have owned it have reported strange occurrences like pages turning on their own and books violently flying across the room. Strange whispers and shadow creatures have also been reported by owners of the manual. I would not want a copy of this. And coming in at number 1, the Voynich Manuscript. If humans are afraid of one thing, it's the unknown, and that's why the Voynich Manuscript has become one of the most mysterious and feared books of all time. Written in the 15th century, there are 240 pages, but there's evidence that additional pages are missing. Some pages are foldable sheets of varying sizes, and most of the pages have fantastical illustrations or diagrams, some crudely colored with sections of the manuscript showing people, fictitious plants, and astrological symbols. This has frustrated and cursed people with bad luck for years. While countless historians and researchers, such as professional and amateur cryptographers, including American and British codebreakers from both World War I and World War II, have tried to crack the code, none have been successful. The manuscript has never been deciphered, and none of the many hypotheses proposed over the last 100 years have been independently verified. The mystery of its meaning and origin has excited the popular imagination, making it the subject of study and speculation. Was it written by people from another country, an unknown species, aliens? No one knows, but it's been long speculated that a fatal curse will be unleashed on anybody who finally unlocks this terrifying language. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 terrifying messages found in cursed books. I would never read any of these books. I'm a person who fully believes in the supernatural, and I would not want to mess with any of that. Would you read any of these books? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm your host Emily, and I'll see you next time. Peace.